So let's move to our next guest speaker, Manuja Bandal, researcher, software engineer, innovator, and STEM mentor, USA. AI powered cloud system and scalable distributed architecture. Her expertise includes AI driven supply chain and demand planning systems, cloud computing and AWS based scalable solutions, distributed systems and microservice architecture, machine learning integration for forecast optimization. So, her today's topic is AI powered supply chain, building intelligent scalable systems for the future. So, let's warmly welcome Manuja Bandal.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. So, as Alex also said, good afternoon, good evening, good night. So, for all the people across the world, I'll quickly share my screen to get started with the topic. Okay, can someone confirm if they can see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So, the topic that we are going to go over today is AI powered supply chain. And of course, AI is the topic of the world right now. So, why not supply chain? So, let me take you to a transition journey of supply chain, how it was in like few decades ago, and how the future of supply chain is going to be. So let's start with the traditional supply chain. So consider a few decades ago, there were manual spreadsheets, and there were actually people going over every data points that they came out of from their sales. So if I'm a retailer, I'm going over what my sales were last quarter or last year, and then I'm trying to figure out that how much supply I need to buy. So that was very manual, and there were ERP systems which kind of made the plans where to land the orders and how to land the orders. But all this worked back then because the entire supply chain was very local. The people used to supply in their restricted areas. There was not much global expansion, and the efficiency in the environments was mostly stable because the environments not were not as volatile at that time, because the dot-com bubble has not evolved during that time. So it worked for that period, but then as the websites developed, as the internet came up, and as the online sales started happening, this traditional supply chains couldn't sustain. So we started adding the second thing, which is automation in the supply chain. So we started making online grocery stores. Amazon, the known example, right? So Amazon started building its .com, the retail side where they could sell everything and anything online. But on the back end of all that, they needed automation because they were handling products at the global scale. And that is where the next era came in, where every engineering field, let it be mechanical, computer science, IT, everything started seeing evolvements, and there were advancements in every engineering field. Robotics was at forefront of Amazon's fulfillment centers because they were wanting to do all the global retail planning at a very quick speed, and they could not rely just on humans. So they wanted to get packages moved around in fulfillment centers very quickly and get them sorted as the orders were coming in. So they relied on robotics to do that work. So the robots would actually move into the fulfillment centers, and they had cameras attached to it, and there used to be a whole processing in computer vision where they could identify the products based on the details, the barcode, and the package itself, and place it at the right part in the warehouses. So that's where the automation started, which was around 2005 to 2018. But again, with after 2018, you know what happened. We came into an era of the global pandemic. So let's see what happened then, right? Like in the global pandemic, there were people relying on online deliveries, grocery deliveries, medicine deliveries, everything online, because people were scared to step out of their home, so that they don't get caught by infections. So it was very essential for big retailers who did online experience shopping to plan their resources very well, and it would not have been possible if they did not had any automation or any AI capabilities in that them. So we think that AI started just now, maybe last year or a year back, but it actually started right in pandemic or just before that, where the big global technological companies started using machine learning to predict the future. So in the global pandemic, Amazon, they were able to identify the increase in the demand of some particular grocery products, because they were able to adjust to the ongoing changes happening in the world. So they were able to override their demand, if I put it in simple terms. So, and they had robots operating in their fulfillment centers already. So and they also followed some safety procedures where they needed some human interaction. So with all that, like all the automation, all the machine learning that they already had, they were able to supply for the millions of people across the world through their online shopping experience. And then there were people actually delivering those products with all the safety procedures. So with all that, we came to know that okay, we need more artificial intelligence, because the things are getting volatile. They are not as stable as they were before. So that is where we have the customer expectations of speed, and all the planning cycles we need to plan quickly. Like there could be something happening right in the moment, a situation, and we should be prepared for that situation. So that was the core of why AI was introduced in supply chains and all aspect of supply chains. So moving on to what AI does in supply chain actually. So, take an example. Um, I am a supplier, and I want to provide my goods to a retailer who would sell that, right? So, I need to know how much I need to plan for a particular product. Let's say it's a MacBook that I need to sell. So, I need to plan that how many MacBooks I need to sell in future, and how I can predict that is by looking at the previous data. And manually I can look just at some amount of data and not much, but with the machine learning models, the models can read tons and tons of data at a time and give you predictions of future, which is not just future next month, next year, but years ahead. They can give you years, and you can plan for that from today. So that is amazing. Like you can just look at the data, a large scale data, and the related data, not just like what sales I did for MacBook, but okay, why are people shifting to MacBook? Like explain the data. So all the related data could be explained, and we can see what we need in future. So that is amazing, and that is what AI can provide us. And another example is, so I am based out of Seattle, Washington, and it rains a lot here, a lot. But suddenly, let's say there was some global warming and the weather changed and it started raining less, then I need to start selling less raincoats or umbrellas, right? So I need to consider the external factors going on in my environment so that I can predict the correct demand. So this is where AI can help. It can help you get all the related data and make sense of it for your particular demand. If you're forecasting for something, it can tell you the exact spike when in future you would see a spike of that particular product. So that is how AI, how powerful it can be. And it can give you real time consumption patterns, like how people are reacting to something, if there's another global situation, or let's say a tsunami in the area, or any situation, right? Like how our system should react. That is what AI can give you in advance, and you can plan for it very efficiently. So if you see, a lot of the core models that are used by demand forecasting, they are developed with solid focus on making sense when there is no data also. So some of the products which are like newly launched, they don't have past historical sales data. You don't know how to make sense of what will come in future. But there is similar other product which has past data, so you can make sense of that demand based on the past data. So AI is there to interconnect every part of the world and give you like a big picture overview of everything. So you can just sit there, ask the chatbot, okay, I'm looking at this particular product and I need to know how much I need to plan for future, and it will connect all the dots for you and make you help make that particular decision, which would be very efficient in the near future. So that is AI, and that is how we have been leveraging it for past few years. But let's see how it has helped us, right? So again, if I talk about global retailer like Amazon, Walmart, and all the e-commerce retailers, right? Because of using machine learning models, we see that the forecast accuracy have improved. We can see that we can make smarter decisions, and we can explain our decisions why we did that. And we can combine various fields like finance, like is this decision good for the company and good for the customers, is this decision sustainable. We can make very smart decisions with AI. And the other thing is we can also make smart decisions on route optimizations in supply chain. Like if I need to move an X parcel from X part of the world to some other part of the world, which route I should take, what would give me the best fuel savings, what would be give me the best time savings. So you can make all that optimizations based on the knowledge that you have given to AI, and it can give you all the details. So that is how we have been seeing the use of AI in this global retail platform. But this was what happened until now, right? But what is coming in future? So we have been preparing for that. So future is the generative AI powered supply chain. So what is the difference, right? AI versus generative AI. So AI was there to give us knowledge about everything and make sense about everything. Generative AI is there to help us create scenarios that didn't even happen, get answers by natural language processing. Like I can just sit there and ask questions through the chatbot, and it returns me answers. So this is all like an agentic AI universe where everything stays connected through the agents, not actual human beings, and then humans just try to make it interpretable. That is, they can explain why that decision was made by just asking the chatbot, and they actually don't need to make that decision. So we will just sit back and interpret the results. So that is how the generative AI is going to work. So think about this. Earlier, with automation and with modeling, we can predict what a particular product might sell in future. But with generative AI, I can create a scenario, we call it digital twin, where I can add random events that might happen in, let's say, financial world. Let's say stocks went up. I can add the scenarios, and then I can predict what my sales could be for a particular retail product. And I can interact with the supply chain agents directly through natural language processing. So it is going to simplify the world, and I see a future that in maybe couple of years the supply chain would operate on its own through these agents with very minimal human interactions. And the humans would there just sit there for interpretations, like I said previously, and all the decisions would be made autonomously by considering every domain together and considering the big picture view. So that is the future of Gen AI in supply chain, and this is the picture that I came up with. Here you can see it takes various inputs. It takes sales, market trends, it takes the weather data, everything that is happening around the world, which is part of the data itself. And then it understands the data in its cognitive AI engine through machine learning models, the large language models, deep learning models, all the models that we have, which the scientists have made it more efficient. So it understands and correlates all the data, and then you can use generative AI for scenario generation, predictive analytics. So you can give some scenarios to it, hypothesis, and tell me what the output of that could be, so that I can plan my supply well, I can plan my logistics well, I can plan it in a way that it is sustainable for the world. It's not about just planning it, but also plan it in a sustainable way. We can give that inputs to the AI agent itself and ask it for outcomes the way we want it. So we can actually merge multiple fields together: sustainability, finance, advanced analytics, everything together, and get the output that we need from this various agents tied together, giving us the bird's picture view. So I believe AI has strong power, and it is there to help us, advance us, and make us so powerful that we can make some resilient and adaptive supply ecosystems. So that is the vision, and this is what the world is moving forward with. And this is the particular example for supply chain, but all the fields in the world are going to correlate and make sense together through AI. With that, I'll stop my presentation, but would love to know if there are more questions.
Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation, ma'am. If anyone have any question, they can raise their hand.
I think not anyone has it in chat, but yeah, if you have any questions later on, I'll share my LinkedIn. I think I shared it on the slide as well. And you can find me, Manuja Bandal, on LinkedIn and reach out. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am.